Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
We return to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Hey, what's more fun than maybe going out on a nice windy day and flying a kite? A man is in critical condition after getting shocked while flying his kite at a Bremerton park. Bremerton Battalion Chief Brad Richards said the man was flying a makeshift kite made out of steel cable and a fishing rod around 7 o'clock Sunday evening at the Evergreen Rotary Park. The kite then drifted into the Puget Sound Energy's high-energy transmission lines and shocked the man. He suffered severe burns and was flown to Harborview Medical Center and is in critical condition. Fire officials said that this served as a reminder not to fly a kite near power lines. It also should be noted, as much as you think that this is a rare occurrence, where's the Kite Festival every year? Where it seems like
India,
it's wherever it is. It seems like there's deaths every year.
But the difference with that is, all right, so
decapitations, lacerations, and electrocution.
But they're doing kite fights, if I remember this. And I think it might be India.
Kites
so
wild.
The thing about those kites, right? And they keep going, man, another kid was decapitated. It's like, what part of the allure of this is that you tell them that on the strings that connect to the kite. It's almost like cockfighting, right? I mean, there's like bits of razor or broken glass because the idea is
you're trying to cut the other guy's line.
Right. So you can kind of imagine that these 200-foot-long barbed strings and wires, right? So the wind hits it right, and people get wiped out. Every year there's fatalities.
Yeah, you've seen one of those kites. They turn and they dip down, real fast out of your control, and they look like they're going to smash into the ground, and the next thing you know, like 2 feet off the ground, 3 feet, they pop back up. So, I mean, when you're bringing that line down that close to the ground.
Right, it's not the kite that's killing people, it's been the strings, yeah.
The plan was to have a good time, then blank happened, 206-421-ROCK.
Kite life, man.
Kite life, bro. I got it tattooed on my stomach. Hello, Wes. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola!
Hola!
All right, so my buddy Kyle, he was turning 21, and I was a year younger than most of my friends. So we're going to go camping in just south of St. Louis, about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And we were staying on the Black River, and, I mean, there was like 20 or 30 of us, like with all the friends, and then, friend of a friend and all that. And it was like a 3-day weekend. I had, like, my dad's box truck that I was sleeping in the back of with, like, it had mosquito netting, and we put up a tarp, like kind of like a back porch out of it.
Nice. Sounds like very good glamping.
Oh, yeah. And so we're partying. One of our buddies was a cook. He's cooking great breakfast every morning, There was we're right on it was like a rock beach, but we're right on the river. It was the Black River. And so, yeah, we're just doing our thing, having a good time. We even met like the owner of this. It's called Bearcat. It's in south of St. Louis, but his name is Bear, and he showed up at 8 o'clock in the morning, like the first morning we were there, and he's like, "Y'all want to smoke?" And I was like, "Okay, man." He's like, "Yeah, I own this place. Don't worry about it." I was like, "Right on." He just walked out of the woods and was like, "Hey, let's smoke." And so we're partying. We don't, I mean, this is before, smartphones, so we didn't really check the weather. But the last night we're there, there's a band playing. It starts to, like, kind of sprinkle a little bit. We're running and, like, sliding through the mud because, like, we'll just go jump in the river to clean off. And we all go back to the campsite because it starts coming down a little bit heavier. Everybody gets to bed in their tents or in my truck, and we get woken up at like 3 o'clock in the morning by one of the workers there, who incidentally lived inside of a old washed out van, and he's like, "Y'all got to get off the beach now. We got to it's flooding," and then it's just chaos. So the little girl I was with, she jumps on my back, and I'm 6'4", and I'm walking through chest high water.
Damn.
Oh yeah, and just to get away from the beach. Come to find out, my buddy John, he had a truck, and he said, "I'm out of here." Made it through. My other buddy, he tried to go through in a Honda Civic, and it ended up down the river.
Yeah,
it did.
It is not built for that.
And then someone stole it anyway.
They did.
Yeah.
The campground people stole it. He ended up jumping out of the car with his girlfriend, and he threw her to shore, and then he jumped to shore and somehow got out of it. We walked all the way to the other side of the campgrounds, ended up sleeping on another stage to just get whatever rest we could.
What happened to your box truck?
Hey, lucky enough, and it was my dad's box truck. Lucky enough, when the rain had stopped and we started to go back to see to see if we could get everything recovered, it was still there. Nothing had happened to it at all.
Sweet. Well, it's a good thing you didn't try to make it across in a box truck. That thing definitely, that definitely would have floated down the river.
Otherwise, it sounds like you guys had a good plan in place, man. Everything about that sounded like it was working, well, no pun intended, swimmingly.
Yeah, well, we even had a rope swing, and then when I tried to leave the campground, there's one of those little spillways. The water was rushing over that. I killed that truck twice, because it was one of those old Toyotas that didn't even have a badge on it.
Right.
And that thing died twice, and I had to get pulled out, and then you gotta pop the carburetor, pop the air cleaner. Hopefully it'll dry out, and then try to start it again.
Okay.
See, now it's absolutely unfun to me. Anything like that, now I'm in a bad mood.
Mm-hmm. Right? I do like the idea of having a truck to sleep in, though.
Yes.
It seems to give me some comfort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From rain, whatever.
I don't mind a tent.
I don't mind a tent. I just can never get a good night's sleep in one. I feel like I'm in a sauna. I'm not good with sleeping bags. I can't spread my legs out. I'll just bitch the whole time. You know what I mean? I like to be under the covers, but you can't really do that in a mummy bag, and your feet are all tight together, and you're hot, and then you get bit by stuff, and then there's something under your back, and you're pretty sure you cleared everything out under the tent, but now it's jabbing in the back, and you can't get comfortable, and you wake up 100 times.
What about in the fall? You ever go camping in the fall or the spring where it's not as hot?
I like winter camping, to be honest with you.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Winter camping.
In the snow?
Yeah. Oh, it's completely insulated. I mean, you can really...
Yes, it's insulated with snow.
Yeah, but you don't get wet. You know what I mean?
But I'm surrounded by snow, and it is cold, man.
It's not as bad as you think. It really is. I mean, it's you can bundle up and be warm.
I know, but I don't want to have to because I'm surrounded by snow. I would definitely take
Boy Scouts,
summer.
I took winter camping every time. I love it. Yeah.
Have you done it as an adult outside of climbing Rainier?
No, but that was horrible. That was not my idea of winter camping at all. That was
you're a man of extremes. I hate camping.
I hate
being in a sleeping bag.
By snow.
Right, unless it's freezing, I got to wear 3 layers of clothes. Then I'll get that sleeping.
I lived in a tent every summer for 5 years, 6 years at a camp. And man, after a while, it just gets old.
Well, sure, because it's just playing homeless in the woods.
Yeah, right.
I mean, look, I agree with you. Tent camping's not the best, but I don't know. I've been just camping, not at a festival in the fall, and that's kind of nice because you're outside.
Yeah, that's a little bit different. I mean, if I was on drugs, I was in Boy Scouts, I wasn't on drugs.
That's where Boy Scouts go wrong with camping. Look, every adult that goes camping is either drunk or high or both, or that is the goal.
When I get there and everything's set up and dinner's on, I should be able to get high, right? The plan was to have a good time, then blank happened. 206-421-ROCK.
They should really introduce that to the Boy Scouts.
You should really get the RV that you keep talking about.
Oh, I would love
rent.
Just buy a goddamn RV.
Like the guy said, he's got that tarp on the back of the truck, you know what I mean? A little porch area. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Whip out our koozie, get a chair, you know what I mean? Have a cold beer. Somebody starts cooking that's not me. This is my ideal life.
Well, apparently there's a huge campsite at the end of my driveway. That's exactly what's going on.
Got room for one more?
Plan was to have a good time, then blank happened. 206-421-ROCK.
By the way, a quick comment came in. It just says this. Winter camping sucks.
Yeah, I like it.
Hello, Denise. Welcome to the men's room.
Happy hump day, gentlemen.
Hola.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, about about 28 years ago, we had our brand new Mastercraft. We had an almost 1-year-old kid, almost 5-year-old kid. And we had a bunch of us camping over in Wenatchee on the river. And, after several coffee mugs of B-52s, we decided it'd be a good idea to go out for a moonlit boat cruise since it was a full moon, the water's glass. What the hell, no big deal. Well, they opened the dam, so the water level went down a bit, and we ended up hitting a submerged rock.
Oh!
And we had to, luckily, Mastercrafts don't sink past the windshield, so we were able to pull our boat up onto what's called Turtle Rock Island, just north of Rocky Reach Dam. And my husband swam back with nothing but his ski vest on and his shorts, and in river temperature, 4th of July weekend, so the water is freezing. But he made it. It was over a mile.
Jesus. Damn.
And, and it took about 3 days for us to get our boat out because it was a holiday weekend, and we had to get, our insurance had to get all these towboats with bilge pumps and everything going, and our 20-foot boat had a 15-foot hole in it.
Wow. So it was total, wasn't it?
Yeah. I caught the windshield with my neck, so to this day, I've got some pretty bad neck issues.
Like what?
But,
does it hurt? Does it look weird? Can you not turn your head?
Yeah, I have. My husband just walked in and he heard me on the radio.
How much did that boat cost?
Back then it was only $23,000. Now they're about $80,000.
Golly, $23,000 down the toilet that quickly.
Those boats are awesome, though.
Oh, no. The best part was some guy bought the boat as is for $10,000, and then our insurance gave us $15,000, so we bought a new boat.
Okay, nice. Right. Yeah, that's fortunate.
It all worked out just fine.
Do you still have a boat in your life?
Oh, yeah. We actually bought old Mastercraft a couple of years ago and have completely rebuilt it. So we bought an 87. That was a 92.
Have you taken it out yet this year?
Oh, God. Yeah, we bought it like 4 years ago.
Okay.
We've been 3 years rebuilding it. It's beautiful. It's perfect shape.
Let me ask you a question.
We take it out all the time and absolutely love it.
If you get a hair up your ass and you want to go to Victoria, Canada, will it go that far?
Oh, no, it can't go in salt water.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
It's a competition ski boat. It's freshwater only.
Gotcha.
But
so
we love it.
There's a difference between a freshwater boat and a saltwater.
Like, this is news to me, man.
Yeah,
I'm not a boat.
There is when it comes to ski boats. We'd have to have, if we took it out in salt water, we'd have to have the whole thing completely flushed out.
Oh, right. Okay.
It'd be a real pain in the ass, so we don't want to deal with it.
Okay. Yeah, I do not know the boating lifestyle like that. I guess probably with pumps and things like that, everything has to be a little bit different as far as the salt water and what it
makes sense when she said it, but in my mind, I'm like, it's a boat.
I just figured all boats could float,
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of boats that'll never see salt water, much less going to Vancouver.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I figured if I'm on a boat,
I went on one once years ago. Like a friend of a friend had them. So like for Seafair, he had one.
Right.
And then, we just cruised around Lake Washington. We had one buddy and his wife who liked to party, but they were like, we're going to drive. So eventually the cops boarded us and they seemed legit annoyed my buddy driving wasn't drunk. Because there's like 11 people hanging off the boat. We all had our PDF, our PFD.
Because that's an easy mark, right?
But those boats are awesome, man. There's like a hole in the floor. There was a giant cooler. I mean, just full of beer and Gatorade. His wife made cookies.
Plan was have a good time, then blank happened. 206-421-ROUND.
Hello, Hannah. Welcome to the men's room.
Hi.
Hola.
So in high school, I was kind of a latchkey kid. I was always home alone. Mm-hmm. And one day my best friend came over and she was like, check out this cool trick I can do. If I spray perfume on my arm, I can light myself on fire without getting hurt. And I was like, all right, cool. Let's do that. So she sprayed herself with perfume, lit herself on fire. It was exactly as intended. And I was like, whoa, if we can set ourselves on fire without getting hurt, what else can we set on fire without, really screwing up? So exactly. So we were like spraying the counters, lighting the counters on fire, and then we found a random sucker. And I was like, this is okay. Let's light up a sucker on fire, flaming sucker. So we ran out of perfume, and I was like, what else is flammable? Nail polish remover.
Oh, boy.
So I dug the nail polish remover out of the bathroom cabinet, and we poured it all over the sucker. And then we lit it on fire. It worked, whatever. We did that over the sink. And then I was like, this is boring. Let's go sit in the living room and continue to light stuff on fire. So I found this old Folgers tin can, and we were pouring the fingernail polish remover over the tin can onto the things we wanted to light on fire. So we proceed to do this again with another sucker, and the sugar melted, which created a tiny dripping flame ball, which fell into the now bucket full of acetone, which freaked me out. So, of course, I try fanning it, and this is, the early 2000s, so the closest thing near to me was a phone book. So I grab a phone book, start fanning this can of acetone that's now on fire, and, of course, the phone book slips out of my hand, knocks the can over, all over my living room floor. So, obviously, I'm freaking out. My parents are at home. I've lit the living room on fire as a 13-year-old. So I did what only a sane, rational, logical person would do, and I sat on the fire and peed. And thankfully, my parents still to this day have never found out that I lit our living room on fire.
Wait a minute, your pee put out the fire?
I sat on it and peed. And
how much pee? I mean, are you like conjuring extra pee today? I can't imagine that I could pee a fire out.
That would not be my first thought.
I mean, it wasn't like a huge fire, but it was enough for me to be worried.
Damn.
Okay.
I guess that's ingenuity. I never saw that when I'm a guy.
No.
It wasn't planned.
Right. Never play with fire. Explosives, yes.
I mean, look, when you're a kid, you're just going to. Mm-hmm. You're going to light stuff up. But no, I've never actually I peed into a fire, but I've never peed on a fire and thought I'd put the fire out.
I've done it at a little small campfire once, just the end of the night.
Did it put it out?
Yeah.
And how proud of yourself?
It smells awful.
Oh, does it smell as bad as that hand sanitizer downstairs in the lobby? Because that is just terrible.
It's just... Mike, you've done it, right? It's a unique smell.
As soon as she said nail polish remover, I remember my mom just taking her nails polish off in the living room, man. And I come in and I'm just like, it's still that one of those smells. I can't deal with it.
I like the smell of nail polish.
It's too much for me, man.
Really?
No, it's too much for me. I don't know what it is. It's just one of those. It's like it just triggers me wrong. I'm like,
that stuff's amazingly powerful.
Yeah, they should call it everything remover, right? I mean, like when the S hits the fan, like you have nail polish remover, right? Your kid super glues their nostril shut or something. Nail polish remover.
Plan was to have a good time, then blank happened. 206-421-ROCK.
Shove your nose in here.
Hello, Terry. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Hello, Terry.
How's it going?
Doing great, sir. How are you?
Not too bad. All right, I'll try to give the condensed version. I was probably 21. My brother, I would have been 21. My brother was 2.5 years older than me. He was just coming out of the Navy. And so this was going to be kind of his first time of coming back home, meeting up with a bunch of his friends, being able to do drugs, and not getting in trouble. So the plan was, we had a buddy of ours that was just a very talented guy who had decided he wanted to learn how to DJ. So he ended up teaching himself how to DJ over a couple of months and got himself a gig with the city of Bellevue. And it was going to be this kind of lame, like 18 and over rave in Bellevue that he was going to DJ the first set from like 6:30 to 8. We had a bunch of people that we were going to use that as the gathering place, figure out cars, drive out to, once that was done, he's done, we could get him, and we could go out to Seattle to a real rave. We were going to candy flip somewhere in there, and so that we would peak as we got to the rave and we'd have a great night. We get to the Bellevue 18 and over rave, and nobody else really knew Ananda, the guy that was DJing. So they all kind of about 20 minutes into it, they're like, we kind of want to take off. So I go, that sucks. And then I turn around to one of my brother's friends and realize he's already eaten. He had an aide to Quabenzi's. He had already eaten, and his eyes were already starting to dilate. Like, this is the night that I realized if you're going to do hallucinogens, pay attention to where your headspace is when you drop. Because I was pissed, went ahead and ate, took 2 tabs of E. By the time we got out of there, I was pissed off because we left Ananda. I was pissed off because people had already dropped ahead of schedule. get out to the real rave. The first DJ we got there sucked. Had like 3 or 4 train wrecks hit me. That just got me bad. I went to go step outside, ran into a couple of the other people in the group. They were having the night of their lives, which just pissed me off more because I was the downer. And then I don't know I don't remember exactly where it was, but like right next door to the rave was like a country line dancing or a country club or something. And this guy in a big old jacked up like F-150 lit his tires up in the parking lot and just filled the whole lot with tire smoke. And once that hit me, I started dry heaving, and I ended up on my knees. And about right then is when I started peaking, as the world started melting away from me, and all of a sudden I was falling in onto my face, and it just... Bad night goes to worse. It finally ended up, one of the girls that was a designated driver was also having a bad night because her boyfriend was tripping balls and he was grinding on some other girls in the club. And she decided to take me home, and it ended up fine once she got me home. But that whole, thing, it sucked.
Yeah.
That sounds
I think
bad.
a lot of people have been in not that bad of situations, but have not had the best times, depending on the circumstances.
You can tell he's still irritated.
I know.
They're tripping ahead
Had
of
all this
schedule.
planned out. I know, like, exactly. We're all supposed to do this and meet here.
So that pissed me off more.
Plan was to have a good time, then blank happened. 206-421-ROCK.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
99.9 KISW. The men's room is in progress.
Return to Who Sucks Less coming up right after emails on our men's room blank question. The plan was to have a good time. Then blank happened. 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Kevin. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So, short version, I take my wife out camping for a surprise birthday, and we're there by ourselves for the first couple of nights. She doesn't know I invited like 20 people over for the rest of the weekend. And we're all drinking, getting lit, and I see that the fire's about ready to go out. So I squat down next to the fire and split a couple of pieces of firewood to go in. And I put an axe in my leg.
Oh! How deep?
Well, if you fast forward to 2016, that was about 15 years ago. 2016, I was in a head-on car accident, got banged up pretty bad, shattered my right foot, fractured my left tibia, and so they did a full body scan on me. And they says, "Did you know you have a chip out of your femur?"
Jeez.
I'm like, "Yeah, I put an accident 8 years ago."
Did you stay for the rest of the time, or was that the end of the camping party?
Oh, no. When I got to the ER, okay, first off, the only car that was there that could drive was a convertible Mustang, a 71 convertible Mustang with white leather interior.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So when it first happened, I didn't know how bad it was. So I walked around to the back, the picnic table where the lantern was, dropped trowel, and I just got blood gushing out of my leg.
Seems fair.
So we get to the hospital. The doctor says, "So you want staples or sutures?" I says, "Well, what's going to get me out of here quicker?" He says, "I could staple you and have you out of here in 10 minutes. I'm like, "Sweet, this is the shortest ER visit I've ever had." So he puts 12 staples in my leg, and back to the camp I went.
Nice.
Damn.
Okay.
All right.
And no real complications from that, other than the fact that you learned later on that it in fact was chipped.
Well, I was at work a couple of days later, and I was a mechanic at the time. I rolled a tire down my leg and ripped half of the staples out.
God damn, man. Yeah, no thank you. I don't know if I put an axe in my leg, like, hey, guys, I'm not trying to be a party pooper. I'm not. Go ahead and skip the rest of the night.
Yeah, I'm going home for these last 2 nights. Plan was to have a good time. Then blank happened. 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Jacob. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hola.
Hey, so I was out camping with some buddies. We were drinking. I'm a gymnast, I was a gymnast, not now. I was doing, like a backflip. I landed, and when I landed, I dislocated my left foot. The bone connecting to the foot hit the concrete. That got, crushed, and it split going up a bit. That would be the second break in that area. First break was from a trampoline. This one, obviously, was just due to my idiot, ways. But anyway, so I have 13 bolts, 2 metal plates, and cadaver bone, and I have to wear a carbon fiber AFO now.
Jesus.
So you got a cadaver bone in there, too?
Yeah, I don't know whose it is. Hopefully,
I mean, did you ever ask, or is it just something?
Doesn't matter. You can't go thank that person now.
I'd still want to know. Yeah. But
I mean, I think that'd be kind of cool.
Was that the end of your gymnastics days?
Yes, that was the end of all those days. I'm 29, and I stand up and I just hear all sorts of things popping and aching, and then I angle my body wrong and I collapse because, it's just that bad.
So you can't even pull off a cool old move from back in the day now because you're just too debilitated.
I can. My wife's cracking up on the corner over here laughing because it's true.
What was your best event in gymnastics?
I like doing the floor in the rings. It was just fun. No on the floor.
Yeah. Did you, okay, let me ask you this. Did you, are you strong enough now where you could even get up on the rings?
My upper body? Yeah, I probably could. I don't know how long it could last. I was strong years ago. I was good. Not now, though.
Yeah, look, if you're a gymnast, we know you're strong. But, so... The rings to me seem like to be the toughest. What was your worst event in gymnastics?
Oh, dude, that's easy. It's the horse.
The horse.
I would go up and I would run and I'd always over jump it or I'd under jump it, and I just always felt weird spreading my legs around this Twinkie looking thing.
Did you ever graze your boys on the handles?
Who hasn't?
Okay, it just seems like it looks like because when you watch these guys, something that could very easily happen, like boom, boom, pow.
My boy's on a lot of handles.
Okay, yeah.
Now, because of that threat, man, do you wear tighter underwear? Do you put ice, on your testicles? Because I would do I would not want it to be humid, and then I go out there knowing these things are hanging low. Because when you watch these guys do it, they're right. There's
I wear lighty tighties for a while. It will hold it in place. It worked.
Is your wife disappointed in what's happened to your body? You know what I mean? She marries and dates this real cut-up gymnast dude who's just ripped and strong, and now he's like this fat ass who gets high and sits on the couch eating Cheetos.
I can cook the mean spaghetti.
Yeah, all right, okay, all right. That's
that's all you need in a marriage. I can cook spaghetti, baby.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, brother. Plan was to have a good time, then blank happened. 206-421-ROCK.
Is there any event in male gymnastics that, let me rephrase that.
No.
You got to pay. They say, look, just do it for the kids, right? It's Grant-A-Wish. They want to see you do something gymnastics.
I could do the thing where you just get the little ribbon and run around.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's male gymnastics.
I forgot that there was a...
Is it not? I think males don't do that?
Do guys do that?
I saw it in old school.
I don't know.
I didn't realize that guys did floor routines. I guess they do. I just forgot.
Yeah.
Okay.
What the pommel horse, the rings,
uneven bars,
parallel
bars,
right?
Did you get the straight line one?
Parallel bars. I'll just lock in and swing my legs.
There you go.
Balance beam.
No.
Yeah, I suck on the balance beam.
That thing, you don't know how hard that thing is. You ever been on one of those?
Yes.
Oh, if you fall,
not for long.
Only at a park that was like a foot off the ground.
Didn't they make you do this crap in elementary school? Or there was a point, like anything you do, 2 weeks of this, 2 weeks of that, and it wasn't full on gymnastics, but that balance beam.
Oh, it's
but
hard.
Your gym teacher's yelling at you because you're not good at it. First of all, my balance is not great. Second of all, you keep screaming at me, which is not helping. And more than that, I don't want to do this. Like, I'm not training to do this. You told me that I have to do this.
Yeah. And not only that, then back to camping again, why sometimes I think it sucks. I remember this. We would go on long hikes, like for, just miles and miles and miles, and we'd be out in the woods for, 7 days, 10 days, whatever. There is inevitably some point that's deep in where you have to walk across a log, across a stream or a river.
Right.
And you got a pack on and stuff. You know what I mean? And to me, I know it's not that big of a fall. I know the water's not that bad. You know what I mean? I can pull my ass out. The problem is
you try not to get wet.
Everything gets wet. Like all your clothes get wet. Your sleeping bag gets wet. The whole deal. And I hated traversing rivers over top of the logs. It's back to that balance beam that I hated in, middle school.
Yeah, like I'm not good at that. So do you,
I'm not either. I'm like,
do you do it fast or do you do it slow, right? Because
I think you rip across it.
My experience is I start slow because in my mind I'm thinking, you got it this time. I don't. And then you just run, right? You just throw caution to the wind like I'm just going to run because the less time I'm on this, the less chance to fall.
I mean, I feel like the last time I used a log to step over a little stream, it was pretty wide.
Okay, yeah.
What about the log rolling thing? You never see people standing on top of it, spinning their feet?
No.
I got close to doing it once in Montana.
Of course you did.
I thought you had done it.
No. It was very close. I was close. There was a lot of talk up about it, but when we got there, it's like, this is a bad idea.
It is. You know why? The log is wet. And when you're traversing those things in the rain, those things are just absolute ice. So to me, it's like you're standing on something that's just inherently, it's like an oil slick. You know what I mean? And trying to keep your feet up.
But I will watch people do it for hours. Like if you're flipping around into something, some obscure cable channel and it shows the competition and it's exactly what you think's involved, I'm like, I've lost an hour and a half of my day watching these guys.
I don't know about this summer because of the COVID stuff, but I mean, go down to Buckley. They got a famous log show. Watch people run those logs.
Maybe if I cramp I felt like I could dig into the log a little bit. You know what I mean? And get a little traction.
I feel like the guys that are doing it professional, do they have something on their shoes? Like
maybe
kind of like a bobsledder has a little tack?
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean,
think they'd have to.
I don't know.
Plan was having a good time, then blank happened. 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Michael. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores.
You know, why doesn't anyone say that anymore? It seems like I never hear that.
I don't think the trailer park boys are, really doing anything these days. So unless you go back and watch back episodes.
Is that where it came from?
Yeah, you're probably not aware.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
10-4. Well, my story starts out 40 miles off the coast of Westport, fishing tuna. We thought we had about 20 fish or so in the boat, because like when you fish tuna, you braille out bait like by the handfuls and you have fish boiling at the back of the boat.
And you gotta go out pretty far for that too, right?
Oh yeah, I mean you gotta catch the break between cold and warm water, and usually that's way off the coast. Around the summer it comes in and gets within 30, 40 miles or so.
I was gonna say it's still a haul.
Oh yeah, no, you're hauling ass and it's like 3 hours out there,
Okay.
So we're sitting out on the water and we're just throwing them in one after the other, and we only have like a 23-foot boat, so our max is like 40 fish. We're at about 25 or so, and it's a pretty good bait stop. There's fish flopping around everywhere. We're just nailing them. So my dad thinks, okay, what if we shut off the boat? Right, will it get us a couple more on this bait stop? We won't have to work as hard, to keep them in. Because he thinks that the wake of the boat is going to scare him or something, which understandable. So we slam in about 6 or 8 more fish, start cleaning them up, get all the blood off the water. Then he goes to start it up, and it goes, shun, woo! What the hell is that? So it starts up again. Woo! Well, it's because we're all at the back of the boat. Water gets into the motor and then gets into the number 7 cylinder. And when he went to go fire it up, that piston came against that water and locked it up and stripped the starter.
So now what do you do?
Well, usually you would call in and get, Coast Guard on. But we went to our radio and there's no signal coming out of it. So, oh no, what do you do there? Well, there's a panic button on it. You hit the panic button, still nothing. And way over there on the horizon, you can kind of see what looks like a little boat. So me being about 14 or 15 at the time, I threw off my reflective orange sweatshirt, handed it to my dad's buddy who was on the bow of the boat with the halibut rod, swinging it around like a flag, while I was down in the doghouse pulling the starter out to see what was wrong with it. Eventually, that boat came.
Well, you know, sometimes
it's for us.
Jesus. Okay.
Right. I'm sorry, with the pauses, I got thrown off there.
I don't know anything about that. I don't understand. A quick side note, log rollers wear cork boots that have little nails on the bottom.
Okay.
The Buckley Log Show, September 18th and 19th of this year.
Get your tickets now.
I mean, I might have to do it.
It's probably a Live Nation event.
Hello, Joshua. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So mine's pretty simple. I was winter camping. I know you just had a little question or a little spiff about that. I from Colorado originally. I went out with a couple buddies backpacking, about 17 miles in. We had gone because we had just made a fresh batch of 90 proof schnapps.
Ooh, okay.
To take out camping with us. Well, it was really, really good. Really, really smooth. Dangerously smooth, to the point to where my buddy was drinking it about 12 ounces at a time.
Oh, God.
Wow, all right.
And, it was great at first. Everybody had a nice little buzz until he turned green and decided to go lay in the tent. Well, this was, all of us were kind of sharing a tent. We're backpacking. He goes in, lays down, and it comes out of both ends like a fountain.
In the tent?
A fountain. It was projectile, pork and beans, and camping accoutrements. It was bad. So bad that we ended up sleeping outside of the tent for the remainder of the night and called it an early camping trip the next day.
How was he feeling the next day?
Oh, well, he didn't get out of the tent until about, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning.
Did he even pack the tent up?
Not very in for the 17-mile hike back to the car.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was.
What did you do with the tent?
It was an experience, for sure.
Did you just burn the tent, dig a hole, and bury it? I mean, what? Because I'm not taking that tent back.
You mentioned that. Yes, we actually did burn the tent.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that.
You're not going to save it.
We burned it to the ground and left it up there, and there was no way we were packing that up. We had nowhere to wash it out.
Leave no footprint.
Yeah, man. I was wondering, tell me you did not take that tent with you.
Outside Magazine would not approve of that. The plan was to have a great time, then blank happened. We've got your emails coming up next in the men's room at KISW.com.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.